Okay, let's start. Today is going to be class 18. Okay. And today we're going to talk about Philip curve. Okay, Philip curve. Philip curve is going to be the curve that's showing the relationship between inflation and unemployment. Okay, inflation in in economic theory we use pi. Okay, and unemployment we use U. Okay, and yeah, today we're gonna talk about the relationship between inflation and unemployment. So we're gonna starting with the aggregate supply that we learned last time. Okay, last time we have the aggregate supply equation, right? Okay, which is y equal to y bar plus alpha p minus EP. Okay, this is what we have last time. Then I'm gonna rearranging the equation a little bit. Okay, y minus y bar equal to alpha p minus EP. Just moving y bar to the left, and then divide the whole equation by alpha. I guess 1 over alpha y minus y bar equal to p minus EP. And then I move EP to the left. It's become EP plus 1 over alpha y minus y bar equal to just p. And then I'm going to flip the equation, moving left to the right, moving right to the left. I'm gonna get p equal to EP plus 1 over alpha y minus y bar. So this is, I convert aggregate supply equation back to the price equation. Okay, price equation. Okay, the price, the changing of price depend on two factors. Okay, the changing of price depend on two factors. The first one is expected price. The second one is about the economy. Okay, so starting with the first one. Okay, this is like remind you about what you learned last time. If expected price increasing, if business sector thinking that the price is going to be increasing in the future, the right hand side of the equation increasing, the left hand side is going to be increased. So the price is going to become more expensive right now. On the opposite case, if expected price going down, if the business sector thinking that the price is going to be lower in the future, the right hand side of the equation become lower, the left hand side is going to be lower. So the price is going to start to lower right now. Okay. And the second factor is y minus y bar. About the economy, if y greater than y bar, which means the economy is very good, GDP is greater than the full employment level, this bracket become positive. The right hand side increasing, the left hand side going to be increased, right? So when the economy is good, everything become more expensive. On the opposite case, if y less than y bar, okay, GDP is bad, lower than full employment level. The bracket become negative. The right hand side going down, the left hand side, the right hand side going down, the left hand side also going down. Which means that when the economy is bad, everything is going to be cheaper. Okay, this is the same that what we learned last time. And then, okay, the price gonna change depend on expected price, depend on the economy, and then I'm gonna adding one more detail into the equation. Okay, I'm gonna adding V. So I put plus V, okay, in the right hand side of the equation. Okay, which means that we have the other factor that can affect the price. What is that? We call it as a supply shock. Okay, supply shock means any factor that affects the cost of production. Okay, anything that affect the cost of production. If you have positive supply shock, we increasing, it means that for some reason, okay, we have any other factor that can affect the cost of production to be higher. For example, we have a war between Russia and Ukraine, and then the price of oil increasing, the price of gas increasing. When oil become more expensive, everything is expensive because everything is based on oil, right? Okay. So if we increasing, we have positive shock. The right hand side of the equation increasing, the left hand side going to be increased. So everything is going to become more expensive. Price going up. On the opposite case, we may have a negative supply shock. We going down. It means that for some reason the cost is going down. For example, we have a new technology, AI. Okay, we have a computer, robot, or something like that. The cost of production drop down. We have negative supply shock. The right hand side going down. The left hand side is gonna going down too. So the price level going down. Everything becomes cheaper. Okay, this is supply shock. We adding into the equation. Okay, so we just adding V. And then after that, I'm gonna introduce the other variable. We call it as a P minus one. Okay. P, of course, is a price level. Okay. P is a price level, but we have minus one. Okay. Minus one is mean the previous period. Yesterday. Yesterday. P alone is a price level today. P minus one is a price level yesterday, let's say. Okay. So it's a price level of the previous period. Okay. If we talk about year, P is like the price this year. P minus one is only the price last year. If we talk about months, P minus one is the last month. Okay. It's the previous period. And then I'm gonna add in, I'm gonna put P minus one on both sides of the equation. Okay. From equation of the price, I have P, and then I put minus P minus one on the left. On the right, starting with expected price, I put minus P minus one on the right. Okay. And then the rest is the same. 1 over alpha y minus y bar plus V. Okay. I put minus P minus one on the right, and I put minus P minus one on the left. So what is the meaning of that? Starting with on the left, P is applied today. P minus one is applied yesterday. So this is a changing of price. P minus P minus one is a changing of price. How the price today become more expensive than the price yesterday, right? So this is actually the concept of high inflation. When they say that we have inflation 3%, let's say per year, it means that this year everything become more expensive than last year, 3%. Inflation is about to compare the price, right? So P minus P minus one, we just compare the price today and the price previous period or the price yesterday. So this is the concept of inflation. So P minus P minus one equal to pi, okay? And then expected price. What do you think about the price today gonna be? Minus P minus one, the price yesterday. So it's become expected inflation. Got it? What do you think about inflation today? Okay. The rest is gonna be the same. Plus 1 over alpha, y minus y bar, and plus V. And then this is done. Okay, we have, this is what we want. Okay, we're gonna keep this one. Okay, keep it. And we're gonna use it later. Okay. And note it below that pi is inflation and pi is the percentage change of P. Okay, percentage change of P. Inflation always in the unit of percent or percentage. Got it? We keep this one. And then we're gonna go to the next page to introduce you the other thing. Okay. The next page, I'm gonna introduce you what we call Oku law. Okay. Oku is the name of the economist. Okay. We call Oku law. Oku law is gonna be about the relationship, okay, between GDP, okay, and unemployment. Okay, GDP, of course, we use Y. Okay, Y stands for GDP. Unemployment, we use U. Okay, U stands for unemployment. Okay, and Oku law, they're gonna have the equation. The equation is look like this: 1/alpha Y minus Y bar, okay, equal to minus beta U minus UN. This is Oku law equation. Don't worry about alpha. Don't worry about beta. It's just a parameter, no meaning at all. But focus on minus. In front of beta, we have minus. Okay. You know why? You know Y bar. Why is the GDP today? Y bar is the full employment level of the GDP. You know it. You know U. U is the unemployment. Okay, unemployment today. But you don't know UN. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give you the meaning. UN. Okay, UN is natural, okay, natural rate of unemployment. Okay, we need to use UN in order to make a comparison. We need Y bar to compare with Y. You can say that GDP today is good or bad because you have to compare with Y bar. Y bar is like the full employment level. So you're gonna know that U unemployment is gonna be too high or too low. You need to compare with UN. UN like the lowest. UN is like the lowest unemployment, okay, in the economy. In the real world, it's impossible to make unemployment to become zero because someone volunteer to be unemployed. Someone just lazy, they just don't want to work, just stay at home, So it's impossible to make everyone work, Someone maybe come from a rich family, even someone come from the poor family, but they just don't want to work. Just stay at home with their mom, their dad. It's okay, right? you know, okay, and this has become a big problem in the future. So we call it as a UN. UN is a national rate of unemployment, okay? Let's say the lowest rate of unemployment it can be, okay? So we use UN to make a comparison, just like a Y bar. We compare Y with Y bar. We compare U with UN, okay? Then let's see the meaning of this equation, okay? If the economy is good, okay? If the economy is good, okay? Y equal to Y bar. The left-hand side of the equation equal to 0, right? Which means the right-hand side should be equal to 0 too, right? So U gonna be equal to UN. If Y GDP equal to the GDP at full employment level, everyone get a job. So unemployment is gonna be very low, equal to national rate of unemployment. You got it? Okay. So two sides of the equation is gonna be equal to each other. Okay. Then I change to the red color. If we have economic booms, okay, the economy is very, very good, growing very fast. Okay, on the left hand side, Y greater than Y bar. Okay, GDP is even greater than full employment level, right? Everyone not only get a job, but everyone get an easy money, right? Working at the, let's say, weekend, get the bonus. You do the business, you can earn a very easy money. Okay, economy is very, very good. The left hand side of the equation is positive, which means the right hand side supposed to be positive too. However, focus on in front of the bracket of U. In front of the bracket U, we have minus B. See, minus beta. So we have minus in front of the bracket. Okay, which means inside the bracket, U need to be less than UN. You see, if U less than UN in the bracket is minus, and minus become plus, right? So when the economy is very good, Y greater than Y bar, unemployment also very good. Unemployment is very low, even lower than national rate. You got it? Then I change to the blue color. If we have economics, if we have economic crisis, okay, economy is very bad. GDP is less than Y bar. The left-hand side of the equation is negative. Y bar is the full employment level. GDP is less than Y bar, it means GDP is really bad. We produce less than normal. A lot of people lose their job, right? Okay. So then the left-hand side, the right-hand side, in front of the bracket is negative. Inside the bracket, it should be positive. unemployment is very high. When the economy is bad, unemployment is going to be very bad too, very high. Unemployment is greater than natural rate of unemployment. Got it? So this is the meaning of the equation. So in the end, you will see that Okun law, okay, showing the negative relationship between GDP and unemployment. When the economy is good, unemployment is going to be low. When the economy is bad, unemployment is going to be high. This is from Okun law. So what's so good? And then after that, okay, I bring the equation of inflation, okay, that we saw together. Pi equal to expected pi plus 1 over alpha y minus y bar plus v. This is the equation that we keep, okay, at the beginning of the class. And then I bring Okun law. Okay, I bring Okun law over here. Okay, Okun law is 1 over alpha y minus y bar equal to minus beta u minus un. Okay, here. And then you can see that in the inflation equation, you have 1 over alpha y minus y bar. In Okun law, you also have 1 minus alpha y minus y bar. So we can simply merge two equations together, right? Okay. We can simply merge two equations together. Okay. Plug Okun law inside inflation equation. And then what you get is you get pi equal to expected of pi minus beta u minus un plus v. And this is what we want. Okay, we call this one as a Philip curve equation. Okay, in the end, we got Philip curve equation. Philip curve equation, okay, want you to focus on the relationship between unemployment and high. Don't be forget that in front of the bracket of unemployment, we have minus, okay, which means that, okay, if unemployment is high, imply that economy is bad. Okay, I put in a bracket below. Unemployment is high, it's implied that economy is bad. When unemployment is high, the right-hand side of the equation in front of you is minus. When u is high, the right-hand side of the equation will be low. Then the left-hand side is going to be lower too. When unemployment is high, which implies that economy is bad, inflation is going to be low. Everything in the economy is going to be cheap. On the other hand, if unemployment is low, okay, everyone get a job, it's implied that the economy is very good, right? Economy is good. Okay. If unemployment is low, on the right-hand side, it means it's less negative. Less negative is mean higher. Then the left-hand side, inflation is gonna be high. Everything become more expensive. Good. This is a Philip curve showing the negative relationship between unemployment and inflation. So we can use this idea to plot the Philip curve, plot the graph. For the graph of Philip curve, on the horizontal is going to be U for unemployment. On the vertical is going to be pi for inflation. Okay, the curve is going to look like this. Okay, this is Philip curve. Good. Philip curve always has a negative slope, lie down to the right. Okay, lie down to the right like this is negative slope. Okay, if I point down, let's say point A, unemployment is low, U1, inflation is high, pi 1. Moving from A to B, if unemployment become higher, which means the economy is bad, inflation is going to be lower, which is everything is going to be cheaper. Good. Okay. And then I take the Philip curve equation below. Okay. From pi equal to expected pi minus beta u minus un plus v. Okay. From Philip curve equation. Let's assume that if we don't have supply shock, if v equal to 0, this one disappear. Okay. And then I can rearranging the equation a little bit, moving expected inflation to the left. I got a bracket of pi minus expected pi. On the right, we have minus beta u minus un. Good. Okay. Don't be forget that we have minus in front of the bracket of unemployment. Let's see the meaning of this equation. Let's see the meaning of this equation. If unemployment equal to the natural rate, the right hand side of the equation equal to 0. Okay. It's going to be means that pi is going to be equal to expected of pi. 0. Pi equal to expected of pi is mean that the price of everything in the economy is not expensive, it's not cheap. It's equal to what people think. Inflation equal to what people expect. So it's mean that everything is okay, not too expensive, not too cheap. If everything is okay, unemployment also okay, equal to natural rate. Got it? If in front of the bracket is negative, if unemployment is higher than normal, okay, here, unemployment is higher than normal. In the bracket is positive, right? Positive and negative become negative. If unemployment is higher than normal, pi, inflation, is going to be lower than what people expect. Everything is going to be cheaper than what people expect. If unemployment is too high, it means economy is bad. Everything is going to be cheaper than what people expect. Okay, good. On the other hand, if in the bracket of unemployment, U is less than UN, unemployment is very low, lower than normal, which means economy is very good, right? Okay, minus and minus become plus. Okay, when economy is very good, inflation is going to be higher than what people expect, which means everything is going to be very expensive. Good. Okay. Again, economy is bad, everything's cheaper. Economy is good, everything become more expensive. Okay, everything is going to be shown in the equation. Okay. Then, okay, I bring Philip curve here. Which is pi equal to expected of pi minus beta u minus un plus v. And I'm going to draw the graph here. On the horizontal is u, unemployment on the vertical is pi. Okay, inflation, and the curve is look like this. This is Philip curve. Okay, so let me give you the starting point of the Philip curve. Let's say point A. Let me change to the red color. Point A. Point A is a point that U1 equal to UN. If unemployment equal to the natural rate. If U equal to UN, go back to the equation. If U equal to UN, this bracket become 0. So then the whole equation become pi equal to expected pi plus V. At point A, if U equal to UN, pi 1 equal to expect pi plus V. This is the starting point, point A. Okay, got it? So then, in the theory, we're going to have two types of inflation. Okay, which can be explained by Philip curve. We're going to have two types of inflation. The first type of inflation, we call it as a demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation. Okay. Focus on the word demands. Demand is about buying. Demand is about spending. Okay. Demand pull inflation is mean inflation comes from people spending too much, which is maybe because of people consume more, maybe because of business sector invest more, or maybe because of government, okay, using the deficit fiscal policy. The government maybe spend more and tax less, or maybe come from international trading. We can export a lot and import less. The money flow into our country. Okay, good. All of this is gonna increasing demand for the whole country. So how the graph gonna look like? Let me drawing the graph. One on the left, okay, and the other one on the right. Okay, here, symbol like that. On the left, we have Y on horizontal, we have P on vertical. So we're gonna have aggregate demand for the whole country. Aggregate supply for the whole country. Equilibrium point, let's say E1, GDP Y1, the price level P1. This is the starting point. And then on the right-hand side, we have pi on vertical, U on horizontal, and then we have Phillips curve. The starting point is like maybe here, point A. Point A, U1 equal to UN. And pi 1 equal to expected of pi plus V. Okay, this is the starting point. So I'm going to copy this one, and we're going to use this again in the other case. So this is the case of, let me move to the left a little bit. So this is a case of demand pull, okay, demand pull. Okay, because of maybe people consume more, invest more, maybe because of the government, or maybe because of international trading. Okay, because of all of this, if we have more spending in the economy, okay, total spending increasing, demand, aggregate demand gonna shift to the right. And as you can see, equilibrium point change from E1 to E2. What happens? GDP become higher. Y1 to Y2, economy become growing. Okay, it's good for the economy. However, the price also increasing. Everything become more expensive, which is the meaning of inflation. Okay, how the Phillips curve gonna change? In this case, Phillips curve gonna change like it's gonna be the case of moving along the curve, going up to the left from A to B. Going up to the left, moving along the curve. Unemployment become lower from U1 to U2. Why? Because of GDP become higher. GDP become higher, it means that we're going to produce more, right? If we produce more, we need to hire more labor. People get a job. Okay? Unemployment become lower and inflation become increasing, pi 1 to pi 2. So two sides of the graph confirm the meaning of each other. Price level increasing, confirm we have inflation problem, right? GDP become higher going to the right, confirm that unemployment is going to be lower going to the left. Okay, two graphs confirm each other. This is the first type of the inflation we call demand pull. Good. Then we go to the second type of inflation. Second type of inflation we call cost push. Okay, cost push inflation. The first one is about demand. The second one is about cost. Cost is about supply. Remember? Okay. So I copy the graph and put it here. Okay. Cost push inflation. This is the case of if we have positive supply shock, V increasing. Let's say V2 greater than V1. Okay? V increasing, which means for some reason, for some factor, for some external factor, okay, it's make the cost of production become higher. For example, we have a war and the price of oil increasing. Okay. For the cost push inflation, cost of production increasing, it's going to affect supply curve. Supply is going to be shift to the left or shift up. Shift up or shift to the left, same thing. Okay. AS dash. Equilibrium point change from E1 to E2. What happened? GDP moving to the left. Economy slow down. At the same time, the price going up. Think about if the price of oil going up, cost of production increasing, everything become more expensive. Economic slowdown together with everything become more expensive. This is really bad. Okay. How we gonna show in the Philip curve? In this case, Philip curve gonna shift to the right. Like this. Okay. Shift to the right like this. And the point is gonna going up 45 degrees from A to B. Why? Because economic slowdown, which means unemployment become higher, going to the right. And everything become more expensive. This is V1. So then we have pi 2 equal to expected pi plus V2. This is because of supply shock, V. Two sides of two graphs gonna confirm to each other. The price going up, inflation also going up. Economic slowdown, unemployment increasing. Right? Okay, two graphs confirm each other. So far, so good? Yeah, that's it. Okay. In conclusion, yes. Yes, yes. Why? Because we have two problems at the same time. Inflation increasing and unemployment also increasing. It cannot moving along the curve. If it's moving along the curve, it means one thing going up, one thing going to the left, right? Or one thing going down, the other thing going to the right. But this one increasing together. It cannot be moving along the curve. It needs to be shift a curve. Good. Okay. Then conclusions. Okay. To conclude everything that we learned in two class, we have three main indicator or three main variable. This is very important for macroeconomics. One is going to be Y. Y is very important. Okay. Y is for GDP, right? Very important for macro. And today we learn about U. U also very important for the macro because you come from unemployment, right? Okay. Even though the economy is good, but if you don't get a job, this is a big problem. This is a social problem. If you don't get a job, if you are unemployed, you don't have money. If you don't have money, how are you going to take care of your family? Okay. People are going to become a thief, doing illegal, right? Okay. So the society can be collapsed if a lot of people lose the job. Okay. Unemployed. And then we have P and pi. This is about price and inflation, which is the same story. Okay? If everything becomes more expensive, your money, the value of your money decline. You work very hard, try to earn the money, but your money can buy less product. You are angry. People are going to be very angry about that, right? Society can be collapsed if inflation is really high. It's a big problem too. Okay, we have three main variables here. Okay, and then to to explain the relationship between Y and U, yeah, okay, we can use Oku law, which is we have the equation 1 over alpha Y minus Y bar equal to minus beta U minus UN. Oku law can explain this part. And then to explain the relationship between GDPY and price, we have aggregate supply equation, which is Y equal to Y bar plus alpha P minus EP. And then to explain the relationship between pi and U, okay, this is today. We have Philip curve. I write down as a Philip, okay? which is pi equal to expected of pi minus beta u minus un plus v. Three main equation that we learned from last time until today can explain the relationship between three variables. This is like a golden triangle. See? Very nice. Good. Okay, so we're done today. And I give you the homework. Okay, homework 11. Watch the YouTube again. Okay, write down at least 2 pages. Submit next week. Okay, that's it. And oh yeah, before you go, on Monday, we don't have class. I am busy on Monday. So I'm gonna give you the makeup class on Wednesday afternoon. Okay, maybe 2 p.m. I'm gonna tell you again in Mango. Okay, but Monday no class for sure. Yeah, that's it.